US President Donald Trump is meeting the South Korean President Moon Jae-in, and he said that the meet with North Korea could be delayed. So that's the big story that's breaking at this hour, is that America is saying that talks with North Korea may be delayed. Remember, this is coming after that blowing hot and cold policy towards North Korea, which Trump seemed to have adopted. He's sending conflicting signals to the world. On the one hand, he's saying that the channels are open for a communication. The date is set, the location is set, but one day after the other, we see one statement coming out of the White House which seemed to be sending a confusing signal as far as the historic talks between North Korea and South Korea are concerned. So that's the key takeaway that's emerging out of that meeting between Donald Trump and the South Korean President Moon Jae-in at the White House. And the latest that we're getting is Trump has said that talks with North Korea may be delayed. These talks were scheduled to be held in Singapore next month. Let's first listen into Donald Trump.
I think we'll get those conditions, and if we don't have the meeting. And frankly, it has a chance to be a great meeting for North Korea and a great meeting for the world. If it doesn't happen, maybe it'll happen later. Maybe it'll happen at a different time. But we will see. But we are talking. The meeting scheduled, as you know, on June 12th in Singapore. And whether or not it happens, you'll be knowing pretty soon. But we're talking right now.
Do you have an idea of how denuclearization would take place? Would it be?
I do. I have a very strong idea how it takes place. And it must take place. That's what we're talking about. It must take place. So, but I have a very strong idea, and I have very strong opinions on the subject. I also have very strong opinions that North Korea has a chance to be a great country. And it can't be a great country under the circumstances that they're living right now. But North Korea has a chance really to be a great country, and I think they should seize the opportunity, and we'll soon find out whether or not they want to do that. Yes?
President, have you spoken to Kim Jong-un?
I don't want to say that.
Do you trust Kim Jong-un going into these negotiations?
There's no reason to discuss that. I can say this, that for a short period of time, we've been dealing with North Korea, and it's been a good experience. We have 3 hostages back. They're home. They're living with their families. They're very happy. And so I can only speak for a very short period of time, but it's been a relationship that seems to be working, and we'll see how long it continues to work. Hopefully it's going to work for a long time. John?
I'm related, Mr. President. Can you tell us more about your meeting with Rod Rosenstein and Director Wray yesterday?
No, it's just a very routine meeting. As you know, the Congress would like to see documents opened up. A lot of people are saying they had spies in my campaign. If they had spies in my campaign, that would be a disgrace to this country. That would be one of the biggest insults that anyone's ever seen, and it would be very illegal, aside from everything else. It would make probably every political event ever look like small potatoes. So we want to make sure that there weren't. I hope there weren't, frankly. But some man got paid based on what I read in the newspapers. And on what you reported.
All right, so that's the big developing story coming out of the White House. Donald Trump saying that the talks with North Korea may be delayed, which means the dialogue which was supposed to happen on 12th of June, there is a cloud of uncertainty around it. For more on this, I'm joined by WION's correspondent Molly Gambhir. Molly, thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast. Once again, we are getting skepticism, a tone laden with skepticism coming out of the White House. Another cloud of uncertainty around that landmark meeting between Kim Jong-un and Donald Trump. Why so?
Absolutely, and several waves, in fact, of uncertainty, Archana, that have been doing the rounds ever since June 12th. Singapore summit was declared. US President Donald Trump, remember, himself had tweeted out that the summit, the much anticipated summit between North Korean leader Kim Jong-un and US President Donald Trump will take place on June 12th in Singapore. He himself had tweeted out that that's a decision that's been taken. But ever since then, several weeks of uncertainty, of skepticism that have followed, whether or not that summit will actually take place is something that has remained a question mark. US President Donald Trump now also indicating that that summit could be delayed. Whether or not it will take place at all is something that will have to be seen, Archana. But he's also not given out any reason for the delay. Very important to point out, this is also coming right in the midst of his meeting with South Korean President Moon Jae-in. Remember, North Korea had earlier threatened that it will withdraw from the summit. It had then also today taken a step further when it comes to carrying out the Panmunjom Declaration by dismantling its nuclear side. So it has shown both positives and positive moves, is also backtracking in a way from the earlier declaration. So there's been a hot and cold, of course, it's been doing the rounds for the last few weeks now. And now with Donald Trump again indicating that the summit will be delayed, it's the first time that he's come on record to actually say that there is a huge possibility that the summit could be delayed. It will not work out for June 12 is the quote-unquote statement that's coming in from the president. No reason for the delay cited, no reason that's been given out for why the talks might not work out for that day. But the huge possibility, A, of the summit being delayed, B, whether or not the summit will take place at all is again a question mark. But Archana, the last few weeks have also shown us the hectic parleys that have been undertaken by each of the sides, by South Korea, by North Korea and the US to try and arrive at a resolution. Ever since the historic inter-Korean summit that took place in April, there have been several moves that have been taken in the direction of denuclearization of North Korea. But the last few days have also signaled trouble towards that move, and US President Donald Trump now confirming that there is a possibility that the summit will not work out for June 12th.
Right. And Molly, what timing? Because I think we're just 3 weeks away from that meeting, and we're getting these conflicting signs from both North Korea and the US. We'll have to wait and watch what eventually happens on 12th of June in Singapore. We'll leave it at that. Thank you so much for that comprehensive update.